The sacrifice of good, the birth of evil. Evil begins with a fundamental decision, the choice to sacrifice good for the sake of greater pleasure. This sacrifice is rooted in the belief that good, bound by principles and moral laws, is inherently weaker than evil. Good is restrained, it must adhere to the rules of compassion, empathy, and respect for others. Evil, on the other hand, knows no such bounds. It is free to do whatever it desires, unhindered by the constraints of morality. This perceived freedom gives evil the illusion of power, making it seem more potent than good. Evil reasons that by breaking the rules of good, by violating the natural order, it can achieve a higher form of pleasure, a pleasure that is amplified and intensified by the inclusion of pain. This is the point where evil diverges from good. It seeks to broaden the spectrum of experience by introducing suffering into pleasure, creating a twisted sense of satisfaction that goes beyond what is normally possible. The amplification of pleasure, pain as a catalyst. In this narrative, evil is not just the absence of good, it is an active force that corrupts and distorts the very nature of pleasure. Where good seeks harmony and balance, evil seeks excess. It takes the natural pleasures that good provides and pushes them to their limits, stretching the boundaries of what the human mind and body can experience. Pain becomes the catalyst in this process. By intertwining pain with pleasure, evil creates a new, heightened experience, a sensation that is more intense, more consuming than ordinary pleasure. This is akin to suddenly being able to see ultraviolet light. It opens up a spectrum of sensations that were previously inaccessible. The pain acts as a stimulant, activating more neurological pathways simultaneously, producing a stronger and more overwhelming high. This altered state of pleasure is addictive. It offers something beyond the ordinary, something that seems more real, more vivid than the dull pleasures of good. But this pleasure comes at a cost. The natural order of things is distorted, and the balance that good maintains is disrupted. The individual becomes desensitized to normal pleasures, finding them boring and unfulfilling. To feel anything at all, they must continue to seek out this heightened state, even if it means sacrificing more and more of their own humanity. The distortion of neurology, the rewiring of the mind. As the individual continues to indulge in this corrupted pleasure, their neurology begins to change. The brain, naturally programmed to perceive reality as it is, to find satisfaction in the simple, good pleasures of life, becomes rewired. The introduction of pain into the pleasure circuit alters the brain's chemistry, creating a new normal where pain and pleasure are inextricably linked. This rewiring dulls the voice of conscience, making it easier for the individual to continue down the path of evil. The conscience, which once served as a guide, becomes quieter, less influential. The individual becomes more willing to accept the degradation of their moral compass, allowing evil to take root in their psyche. This is the true danger of evil. It not only distorts pleasure, but also erodes the mechanisms of good that are meant to protect the individual from such corruption. The mechanism of degradation, the flaw of acceptance. The ultimate flaw in this process is the individual's acceptance of this degradation. By embracing the distorted pleasure that evil offers, they willingly allow themselves to be consumed by it. This acceptance is the final step in the sacrifice of good. Once the individual accepts the degradation, they are no longer just a victim of evil, they become a participant in it. The mechanism of evil becomes self-sustaining, as the desire for more of this heightened pleasure overrides all other concerns. This is the most chilling aspect of evil. It offers something irresistible, something that feels more real and more powerful than good. But in doing so, it demands the ultimate price, the sacrifice of one's own soul, one's own capacity for good. The individual becomes trapped in a cycle of ever-increasing degradation, each step taking them further from the light of good and deeper into the darkness of evil. The broader perspective, the consequences of sacrifice. In this narrative, evil is not just a force that exists outside of us. It is something that we invite into our lives through our choices. The decision to sacrifice good for the sake of greater pleasure is the moment where evil begins to take hold. This choice, once made, sets off a chain reaction that alters the very fabric of the individual's being, leading to a complete transformation of their moral and neurological landscape. The consequences of this sacrifice are far-reaching. The individual is not the only one affected. Their actions ripple outwards, influencing others and contributing to a broader culture of degradation and corruption. The more people succumb to this distorted pleasure, the more pervasive evil becomes, spreading like a virus through society.